Coming soon to Constructive Talk Network, Critical Thinkers. It's a youth show with a youth perspective on current affairs and issues in Trinidad and Tobago. Critical Thinkers, youth perspective on Constructive Talk. Final Hour Christian Ministries invites you to their annual Visitors Day service. End of days, where are we in 2026? On Saturday, April 25th, 2026 at 11 a.m. Mandela Hall Center of Excellence with Pastor Mackenzie and the Final Hour family. See you there.
The information provided by the speakers and or presenter on Facebook and YouTube is for general informational purposes only. All information is provided in good faith. However, Constructive Talk makes no representation or warranty of any kind, express or implied, regarding the accuracy, adequacy, validity, reliability, availability, or completeness of this information. The information provided by the speakers and or presenter on Facebook and YouTube is for general informational purposes only. All information is provided in good faith. However, Constructive Talk makes no representation or warranty of any kind, express or implied, regarding the accuracy, adequacy, validity, reliability, availability, or completeness of this information.
Final Hour Christian Ministries invites you to their annual Visitors Day service. End of days, where are we in 2026? On Saturday, April 25th, 2026 at 11 a.m. Mandela Hall Center of Excellence with Pastor Mackenzie and the Final Hour family. See you there. Coming soon to Constructive Talk Network, Critical Thinkers. It's a youth show with a youth perspective on current affairs and issues in Trinidad and Tobago. Critical Thinkers, youth perspective on Constructive Talk.
The information provided by the speakers and or presenter on Facebook and YouTube is for general informational purposes only. All information is provided in good faith. However, Constructive Talk makes no representation or warranty of any kind, express or implied, regarding the accuracy, adequacy, validity, reliability, availability, or completeness of this information.
All right, good evening, Trinidad and Tobago, and good evening to the world. Good evening to the world. And this evening, as I promised you, I will have my dad with me, and he is on the line. Good evening, sir. Papa.
A very pleasant good evening to you, sir. A very pleasant good evening to your listeners.
What's going on?
I'm good as usual. I have people to see. I have a different kind of work ethic, you know.
I know.
I had a wedding yesterday in Mayaro, Manzanilla. And I took the longest possible route. I live in Arima. I could have just go east and drive through to Manzanilla. I go on quite south. Waste my time. Anyhow, the wedding was 10:30. And came back home and saw clients and, went to sleep, got up this morning, did my work. I have court in the morning, and I still have clients to see tonight. So And I say, when you called me and told me to be on radio, I said, yeah, sure, I want to be on radio because I want to remind your listeners that they have to pay us a visit on Saturday, the 25th of April at Nelson Mandela Hall, Center of Excellence. Worship and celebrate. We have Tamiko Irish singing. We have other guest singers. We have 2 sessions of praise and worship. People been asking for me to do an altar call. We'll be having that, and then we'll be having the word. The name of the sermon is The Problem with Being God. Yeah, the problem with being God. I'll be pulling a theme from Numbers chapter 11. And any issue you've been going through, you'll get the answer. You'll get the answer on Saturday. Trust me. You'll get the answer. So I want to thank my son, my brother, my friend, my confidant, Pastor Henry, for supporting the ministry and this program and for being there. And those of you who take the time out to come and visit with us, good time to get there is like 10:30. We begin at 11 sharp. And then we'll have a wonderful time. This Saturday at the Nelson Mandela Hall Center of Excellence.
You know, somebody...
But tonight we're dealing with what issue? I read the thing you sent me from Dr. Al-Rawi. It was a short statement, but it was very it was concise and profound.
Right. But I also wanted you to touch on this issue with the senator. I don't know if you saw that story with the senator who would have sent some information to, what's his name? The former Minister of Health.
Former Minister. Yes.
The senator who said
what?
I don't know, you saw that?
No.
So there's an issue with a senator, right, who would have sent a PNM senator, right? Should have sent some. Well, what was happening was that there was this.
Oh yes, I saw it. The name of that senator is John Bates.
Yes.
All right. She sent some. She assisted him in completing
his witness statement
or something.
His witness statement,
right,
concerning
Opposition Senator General John Bates.
Yes.
She was recently replaced by Senator Vishnu Dan Paul or something.
On that committee, because
the public administration and appropriations.
Yeah, because Vishnu Dan Paul, he is a senator also.
Right.
So I don't know if you saw the news tonight where they were calling for Faris. They were calling for Faris Al-Rawi also to go. And
yes, I saw that.
Yeah. And what was his name? Ashton Ford. Ashton Ford.
Yeah, Ashton Ford from the PNM. Yeah.
Right, a senior PNM official, Ashton Ford, was saying that Faris is a waste of time.
I think in that they had sought to interview him, and his response was, Faris Al-Rawi's response was, I am an attorney at law. I am bound by my legal professional privilege. I cannot discuss the matter. But why would Ashton Ford attack his fellow PNM senator and say he's a waste of time? That is a strong statement to me. Given that Mr. Faris Al-Rawi is a former Attorney General of Trinidad and Tobago, and he served in very high offices in the People's National Movement, and Ashton Ford is a serious, I would say, almost a founding member status man in the People's National Movement. He right up there with Ferreira and these fellas who there from the beginning. And for him to make a statement, he's an icon, a giant in the PNM. For him to say that about Faris, he said that Faris is a waste of time.
I'm gonna play the clip now. I'm gonna play the clip and don't say what they say. I want to play the clip And I want you to listen to the news. What the news had to say. But I'm surprised you know why Ashton Ford will say that.
No, I don't get too deeply involved in the P&M business. I try to stay independent. I see the internal bacchanal and thing. I don't like that.
You don't like the internal bacchanal? You know they have internal bacchanal?
No. If it spill over to affect the public and affect the public vote, then I'll have something to say on it. But they always fighting on the inside, you know.
All right, so let me play for you what Ashton Ford had to say, and also some political analysts had to say, and then we'll come back. Cool?
Yeah, sure.
All right, take a listen to this.
Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar says she has no issue with the reported Chevron Shell asset swap as Trinidad and Tobago pushes to...
The information provided by the speakers and or presenter on Facebook and YouTube is for general informational purposes only. All information is provided in good faith. However, Constructive Talk makes no representation or warranty of any kind, express or implied, regarding the accuracy, adequacy, validity, reliability, availability, or completeness of this information.
All right, I think I played the wrong clip there, Dad. I now realize that. I'm not organized.
Yeah, that now.
Yeah. That's the wrong clip. I want to get the right clip. I want to get the right one because I really want to hear your view on this. I want to hear your view on it. And did you hear Faris' response to Akash?
What Akash do now?
Akash would have asked Faris if he going to resign and why did he ask, Why did he help?
I didn't hear Faris' response to Akash, but I heard Arnold Roberts' response to...
Oh, to Akash again with the turnkey?
Yeah, when he asked him about the procurement regulation, the office of the procurement regulation, and he tell him scream through the gate like he's screaming at a donkey. I know that one.
What do you think about that?
Well, it's the same arrogance, These guys, when they get in office, and P&M is not immune from that. But they usually start with that nonsense when they get 10 years. And P&M, they start to enter year 7, year 8, year 9. They stop listening to the people. They stop listening to the ground. And then the opposition, who is out of power, Kamala, they would start coming in as though they are these ground-based people. And they listen to the ground and they win the election. It happens. It's a cycle now. It's a predictable cycle now. But the UNC has assumed that arrogance of being elected. There's a certain amount of arrogance when the people give you a mandate. You feel they could talk to people anyhow. That is ridiculous how Anna responded to Akash Samaru. It was classless as usual coming from him. And, to tell a senior reporter that the man is reporting to the country and as we put you in office. All right, and he has been tasked with the responsibility of reporting to the country, and they're going to tell him something like that. But then that is the nature of people like Arnold Roberts and David Naked and Alexander, Philip Alexander, and these clowns, that's all in office now. They really don't give a damn about the people. And I'm very surprised. I mean, we have all kind of things to talk about tonight. I'm hoping that I will be able to spend the full complement of time with it because we have these 56 bodies. We have the guns missing.
Yeah.
The country in a mess. The country really in a mess, and we can't protest. And to me, that is the full reason from the government side for having a state of emergency. knowing that the country is being plunged into a crisis, but the people can't respond. If you go there and you protest now, they have reason to beat you and throw you in jail, you know?
Yeah.
And charge you with insurrection and all this kind of thing. So let us see what play the clip now. Let me hear what this Paris is.
All right, so take a listen to it.
Welcome back. A People's National Movement stalwart is criticizing PNM Senator Faris Al-Rawi, accusing him of failing to properly guide fellow Senator Janelle John Bates.
This amid questions about her future in the upper house. John Bates was removed from the Public Administration and Appropriations Committee on April 16th. It occurred 2 days after questions emerged over the alleged editing of a witness statement by former Minister Terence Dialsing ahead of his appearance before the committee. Ashton Ford says while John Bates is new to Parliament, greater responsibility lies with senior figures.
My beef is with Faris Al-Rawi. A non-performer overall. He's a non-performer. And this is added to his list. He should have advised the young lady, having served as Attorney General and having served as a member of Parliament for years. He should have advised her against that.
While opposition leader Penelope Beckles has requested reports from both John Bates and Al-Rawi, CNC3 News understands that no decision has yet been taken on either matter, but political scientist Dr. Indira Rampasad says John Bates is not without fault, arguing the situation points to a clear conflict of interest.
It could amount to misconduct if it is challenged. If it is challenged legally, the opposition leader would be well advised to also remove her from the Senate.
Rampasad says while Al-Rawi's actions were less serious, given that he was not a member of the committee, he should still receive a stern warning.
But political analyst Dr. Winford James, while agreeing there was a conflict of interest, argues Al-Rawi should be removed, with John Bates given some leniency as a first-time parliamentarian.
Opposition leader Penelope Beckles did not respond to requests for comment.
All right. What's your thoughts, Dad?
Well, I think the newspaper report would have covered that. First, I think a serious issue with the response of Mr. Let me just could you just give me 1 minute? Let me just take a call quickly, right?
All right, okay. All right, so good evening again, Trinidad and Tobago, and this evening my dad with me. We're discussing several issues, several matters that is in the news, and you know, well, we just want to hear some of your views on it also. We're going to take some calls on it in a short bit also, after my dad gives his views. But what are your, I'm looking at some of the response on YouTube, and some people saying, I value Mr. Ford's opinion. I don't have to agree fully. Beautiful. Like Ashton want to be the new foodie. Okay. Good night, Pastor Google. All on the live. Good night, good night, good night. To some people saying good night. Good evening to everyone who's joining me on the live. Good evening again, and thank you for being a part of Constructive Talk. We're going to continue as soon as Dad comes back. All right, we're going to continue. We're going to continue and hear his view on the situation. But I really wanted to hear a mature person view on it, you know, because as Dad would have said, Mr. Ashton Ford is a pillar, a senior man in the PNM, and you know, sometimes people like them, like Mr. Ford, opinion is valued. You know what I mean? It is valued. It is taken in high regard. So that's why.
Yeah, hello?
Yes, Dad.
Right.
So I was reading some of the comments people were saying on YouTube. Some people, one person said, I value Mr. Ford's opinion. I don't have to agree fully. Someone says, like Ashton Ford want to be the new Ferdy. Somebody said he should have said it privately. All right, my goodness. Oh, I understand his statement now. Okay. Somebody said I'm listening to all, but I do not. Okay. The issue.
So,
All right, so go ahead, Dad.
Yeah, so I'm saying Ashton Ford should not have responded that way. All right. The PNM is a very strong party, a very organized party, and certain people are allowed to make comments on certain issues. I guess Ashton Ford standing in the party, the years he has been with the party gives him an advantage, but never ever to attack another senior member of the party. The man said that Faris Al-Rawi is a non-performer.
I thought
if he's a non-performer, if Faris Al-Rawi is a non-performer, why do you have him there? Why do you have a non-performer?
Well, he wouldn't believe he do. Well, to be honest, Dad, he wouldn't. He would say his response will be he don't have him there. The political leader have him there, and he doesn't.
No, but yeah, but for him to say that even if the political leader has him there, that's an attack on the integrity of the political leader, because the political leader has a non-performer there. A non-performer, you know. So what Faris Al-Rawi is there for his money?
Well, but between me and you, Dad, is that a fair statement to make? You are in the court system. Have you seen, while Faris was the Attorney General, did you see any changes in the court system in Trinidad and Tobago? Did he do anything?
That is not the discussion. The discussion is Senator John Bates. That is the issue. That is the issue. Senator John Bates and a removal from the Senate based on a conflict of interest action done by her. That is the discussion. Where Anton Ford jump out Faris Al-Rawi is a non-performer. That is a personal thing between him and Faris. And he and Faris should go on a lunch date and deal with that. But the public don't need to know that a senior, almost founding member of the People's National Movement, a stalwart like Mr. Anton Ford, come out and say Faris Al-Rawi is a non-performer, you know. I mean, that is equivalent to saying the man is a total and complete waste of time. He's just taking up space in the People's National Movement. The People's National Movement don't need that kind of friction now. They don't need that kind of heat now. You're in a position you could well be there for 10 years. That's not good at all. That by itself is not good. However, to me, the bigger debate in this was that other senators felt as though they would be uncomfortable, other people on the Public Accounts Committee. And I think the statement made by Ms. Camille Robinson-Regis is opposite, in that she warned that, saying that, okay, so it is being said the minority rejects in the strongest terms the conclusion that the continued involvement of the member could make other members uncomfortable to the point of negatively affecting the work of the parliament. This assertion is speculative and supported by evidence and constitutionally unsound, the report states. Robinson-Regis warned that such reasoning sets a dangerous precedent, adding parliamentary participation cannot be curtailed on the basis of subjective discomfort. And that the idea, the point of subjective discomfort is relevant. You know, one or two persons, you can't make a general statement and say, because one or two persons might be uncomfortable with her, you know. All right, if she's being removed on the basis of a conflict of interest, we understand that. But to say people would be uncomfortable with her I mean, Robin Surages was trying to make a point. She was trying to make an argument there for John Bates. You know, so I think that is that. I must say to you and to your listeners, unfortunately, I will be a little in and out of your program this evening because of some prior issues that I have to deal with, but I definitely will be calling you back. It's 8:57. So give me a little time. Let me go and deal with some business, and then I'll call you back and come back in on the program.
Okay. Right.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, done. All right, so let me play for you Faris Al-Rawi's response to questions being asked by Akash. So Akash yesterday, outside the parliament, outside the Red House, would have questioned Faris Al-Rawi. Take a listen to Faris' statements to Akash yesterday outside of the parliament.
So to get your take on this situation involving the PAAC, of course your name was called up as well as being seen on that document with the track changes, and we really didn't get your opinion on it yet. And you won't, because I'm an attorney at law. What does that mean? It means what it means. I'm acting as an attorney at law. I can't speak about matters like that. But you're also a senator. Yeah. You're also a senator to the nation, sure, being paid by taxpayers, and you know they will have some questions as well. I appreciate your inquiries, but unfortunately I'm bound by legal professional privilege, and regrettably I can't have a comment on this. You have any other questions? So you didn't think it was something wrong at the time when you all were assisting Mr. Dialsing with that document? Did it occur to you as an attorney, as somebody with a lot of legal knowledge, that it may be something that could get Senator John Bates or yourself in trouble? Akash, you've heard my response. I admire your persistence, but the answer won't change. Any concerns about your future as a senator? Akash, you've heard my response. My answer won't change. Is there anything at all therefore you can say on the matter? Because it's a matter of public interest. I'm an attorney at law, as I've said. I'm bound by legal professional privilege. I cannot discuss the matter. You appreciate that I've been an attorney for a long time. Have you had any discussions with your political leader about it? Akash, I want to be respectful. You're over the fifth question right now with the same response. Do you have anything else? Thank you very much. All right, and I appreciate that you're doing your job. Understood. Okay? Thank you.
So that was Mr. Al-Rawi's response to Akash yesterday outside of the parliament concerning this issue. So I played for you Akash, I played for you Faris, I played for you Mr. Ashton Ford, I played for you also the response from other, political analysts. So I'm going to play for you one more time the news this evening, what was said in the news this evening, and I want to hear your views concerning this matter. By that time, my dad should be back, and we're hearing his views already. All right, let's take it in.
Welcome back. A People's National Movement stalwart is criticizing PNM Senator Faris Al-Rawi, accusing him of failing to properly guide fellow Senator Janelle John Bates.
This amid questions about her future in the upper house. John Bates was removed from the Public Administration and Appropriations Committee on April 16th. It occurred 2 days after questions emerged over the alleged editing of a witness statement by former Minister Terence Dialsing ahead of his appearance before the committee. Ashton Ford says while John Bates is new to Parliament, greater responsibility lies with senior figures.
My beef is with Faris Al-Rawi. A non-performer overall. He's a non-performer. And this is added to his list. He should have advised the young lady, having served as Attorney General and having served as a member of Parliament for years. He should have advised her against that.
While opposition leader Penelope Beckles has requested reports from both John Bates and Al-Rawi, CNC3 News understands that no decision has yet been taken on either matter, but political scientist Dr. Indira Rampasad says John Bates is not without fault, arguing the situation points to a clear conflict of interest.
It could amount to misconduct if it is challenged. If it is challenged legally, the opposition leader would be well advised to also remove her from the Senate.
Rampersad says while Al-Rawi's actions were less serious, given that he was not a member of the committee, he should still receive a stern warning.
But political analyst Dr. Winfred James, while agreeing there was a conflict of interest, argues Al-Rawi should be removed, with John Bates given some leniency as a first-time parliamentarian.
Opposition leader Penelope Beckles did not respond to requests for comment.
All right, so I'm taking your calls on this matter. 464-7003, 464-7003, 464-7003. What is your thoughts on it? All right, what is your thoughts on it? So the recommendation or the statements made by Mr. Ford is that he thinks that Mr. Al-Rawi should have, as a senior politician, should have been able to coach or advise the young lady. All right, what is your thoughts? Also, you would have heard Mr. Al-Rawi's response to Akash questions. How do you what is your thoughts about that also? So we're taking your calls on 464-7003, 464-7003. Hello, good evening, caller.
Good night, Pastor Google.
Hi, good evening, sir.
How are you doing?
I'm okay.
Yeah, that whole fiasco, that should not be in the public domain. And I think, my personal opinion, I think Mr. Ford is a little bit out of line.
Okay.
To accuse the former Attorney General, Mr. Al-Rawi, has been a non-performer. Again, we went down the wrong road. Especially in the public domain. That should have been dealt with privately behind closed doors, not on the public forum. Right?
Yeah.
You cannot accuse Mr. Faris Al-Rawi, an outstanding Attorney General who has made a valid contribution, an overwhelming contribution to Trinidad and Tobago, and describe her as a non-performer. I think he should retract and apologize to Mr. Faris Al-Rawi. Right? The things that went wrong in the editing of the statement, I don't know all the legalities, but again, that should be dealt with privately within the PNN and should not be brought forward in the public domain to discredit the integrity of the PNN, because that is what the public media is trying to portray. Right? Whereas on the other side, we have non-performers that is not facing the media. We have a prime minister that is not facing the media, and nobody is challenging them. So again, Anasan, as where we went wrong before the election, as a senior member, Mr. Ford, I think you need to retract that statement, and I think you need to apologize to Mr. Faris Al-Rawi. He has done nothing wrong in my humble opinion. Right? That's my contribution. Pastor Google. Have a good night.
All right. Thank you very much. All right. So the caller thinks that Mr. Ford should apologize, and he also thinks that so those are things that should be kept within the four walls of the party. Hello, good evening. You have to load on your television or load on your phone.
Hi, good evening, Pastor Google.
Hi, good evening.
I am disappointed in Mr. Ashton Ford. How you could bring that out in the public? Even if you have a problem with Senator Faris Al-Rawi, you don't bring it out in the public. And that is like a caucus. So the dialogue or the thing inside. Stop bringing out PNM issues out in the public. It's not looking good. And all you having a problem with the young senator. All you want Ms. Penelope Beckles to pass you. So doing what? She make a mistake. You don't have leniency again. You have Arnold Roberts. He has a whole criminal allegation against him, and they find him. They believe they find him. But you want to fire this girl for nothing. What you firing she for? For helping? Making her miss. What is wrong with them? I can't understand the media. All kind of things to talk about. Up to now they can't talk about the chair in the grave. Who they find in the mass grave. But they come and they talk about that. Talk about the real issues. Why we can't see the Prime Minister? Up to now she can't give an apology. Or a condolence for the police officer who died. These are the things that we talking about.
All right, thank you very
We're
much.
talking about that. You're welcome, Pastor Google. Have a good night.
All right, thank you. All right, so we are hearing all your views. I'm hearing all your. 464-7003. 464-7003. 464-7003. Is Mr. Ford is still part of the leadership? No, he's not. All right, caller, thank you. Well said. Somebody saying what again? Mr. Ford seems to be a bit high-handed. All right, let's take this call. Hello, good evening.
Yes, hello, good evening, Pastor Google. How are you doing?
I'm okay.
Yes. Once again, wonderful program, wonderful topic. Number one, I want to give Faris Al-Rawi some credit for putting on a master class as it pertains to public and private rights. You have the right to remain silent. Number one, if you're noticing, I don't know how many people are familiar with Miranda rights. On average, the average person in the country is not even familiar with what their public and private rights are. He has the right to remain silent. Right? So, in so many instances, people, what is the gentleman's name, Mr. Ashton? He's entitled to his opinion, and it's just that, an opinion. But Faris stated the disclaimer right away. He's an attorney at law, right? And he is not obligated to answer the question. This thing is so deep, Pastor Google, like I mentioned. If you are not familiar with contract law, trust law, commercial law, another individual that puts on a master class is Colin Booth. Look at Colin Booth's disposition and deportment during that panel that they had the other night, sticking to the topic. Faris wasn't disrespectful or anything. He just knows his rights as an attorney. Public and private can't mix. So these are the one other thing, Pastor Google, that I'm hoping that Mr. Dad will address. If he could please give the quote unquote public or the private civilians the definition for statutory. I think we need to start there. You keep hearing this term. So you understand? Statutory law. What is that about? Would anybody be so kind as to define for the listening audience what statutory law is? What it pertains to? This is common law. This Faris putting on a master class on the topic of performance. I mean, I am not aware. Did Faris win his seat?
No, he didn't.
You see? So then it might be lending some credence to what the man talks. If you were the Attorney General, we're living in an age, Pastor Google, where, you remember that song long ago, What Have You Done For Me Lately? That is all people are concerned about. They want results now. What is the basis of the results? I respect Faris as an attorney. He put him on a master class. Right? But in terms of sticking to the topic, the scripture talk about just as a fly causes a bottle of perfume to stink, so does a little foolishness. Faris's name. You telling me somebody with that type of experience, Pastor Google, will make such a mistake in leaving your fingerprint on something that you would have had a hand maybe in editing? That's sloppy.
Now, based on the information that I would have looked at and listened to, now Mr. Al-Rawi is not a part of that committee.
Correct.
He's not a part of the committee, number one.
So,
number two, he's an attorney.
Yes.
If as an attorney, your client call you and say, here what? My name is being called in this in a committee about X, Y, and Z. I have to give a witness statement. I'm sending you it for you to tell me how to go about it. Now, if Faris was a part of the committee, like Miss Bates, I could understand her saying he's sloppy. Right? But he was not a part of the committee.
Well, you see, and that is where his confidence comes from, Pastor Google. He put him on a master class. He know that the evidence is insufficient to bring in any claim.
Right.
Now, when you have the young lady now, that is a part of the committee.
Right.
So
that's why Mr. Ford now would have said fire it. But then that also goes into the fact of, did Faris know that the young lady was giving Mr. Dial Singh advice?
Correct.
Now, if Faris was not aware that Miss Bates was giving Mr. Dial Singh advice, then I take umbrage to Mr. Ford's advice of, he should have guided her. If he don't know, he can't guide.
Here the thing, Pastor Google, what you're saying is so valid, but we have to understand these people are so used to having subordinates. I think in Faris's case, he would have made a contribution, right? He has so many legal responsibilities, political responsibilities, personal responsibilities. Hey, I will help you with that. You have the responsibility to clean up, right? But this is where the sloppiness comes in. I'll give you an example. Look at the Homeland Security Minister. You really believe he has the capacity to be writing his own thing and for speaking in Parliament? Somebody is helping him, but they're not sloppy.
Yeah.
He does not have the capacity for writing anything to stand up in Parliament. You could barely read. So this is what we're talking about, a little foolishness. For one of the male, the shoe was lost. For one of the shoe, the horse was lost. For one of the horse, the rider was lost. So the rider lost his life because of the nail. Who's responsible for that? We have to get together, Pastor Google. These people, I told you already, PNM's public relations is world class. But then, because you're with great power comes great responsibility. You cannot, with somebody with Faris's experience, you can't be making these kind of mistakes. Look, the likelihood is now it's going to cost the lady her job. I bet you something, Pastor Google, she wouldn't make a mistake like that again, though. I could bet you that.
Thank you. All right, caller.
Thank you, sir. Take care.
Thank you very much. I hope you get back in. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Pastor.
Hey, what's going on?
Pardon me?
What's happening? Long time I haven't heard from you.
Yeah, well, it's nothing to worry about. Pastor, I think Dr. Rowley was defend, because one of the last things Dr. Rowley said about the former Attorney General before the last election is that he was moving into local government ministry because he's an action man, to get things done. You remember that?
I must pull that up.
Yeah. Dr. Rowley made it clear while people was saying otherwise. His main reason for removing him from the Attorney General's office was because of the upcoming election. And he's the type of man to get
it was because, yes, you're right. But he also said because Mr. Al-Rawi was the one who would have formulated and put together the reform, local government reform bill. He did say that. He said that Faris was the one who put together the local government reform bill, and he wanted Faris to be the one to present it and to argue the matter within the walls of the parliament. He did say that.
Besides the numerous innovations in the courts and otherwise that that came to pass under his stewardship, I mean, it ain't making sense, Pastor. Something strange going on in this country, Because like instead of strengthening the only alternative to this chaotic government, like we helping to keep it right where it's not supposed to be. Right? It's a man who might even get an IS and thing because they don't work. But they get a house below one thing in Marbella. And only Marbella. Because of that same non-performer Faris Al-Rawi. All during the COVID, men know they was getting things to eat and somebody was looking out for them. So to hear a man from quite an arena say that he's a non-performer, he sounds more like it's a personal thing he have against Mr. Al-Rawi. I don't want to stay too long because I know the program has to go on. But something wrong in this country, Pastor. We have a prime minister who is persona non grata in our next country. You ever hear that? You ever hear police get strangled in a station and beaten to death and next thing the whole... Yeah, man. Mashing up CARICOM. And Akash and them, boy. Dr. Indira. Yeah, man, these racists and them. They try to fool the ones who are, and them who do have eyes to see. And they say, here. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, caller. So I'm looking up what the caller would have mentioned. Prime Minister Dr. Rowley did not just now. I want to find out that. If I find it, I'm going to read it out for you. All right. I'm going to read it out for you guys. Dr. Kate Rowley has asked AG Faris Al-Rawi to all right. I will find it, But taking all your calls in the meanwhile. What we're discussing, if you're now joining us, we're looking at a story that was presented in the news tonight, this evening. At CNC3 would have touched on a story with the senator who was asked to be moved, or was moved from the medical. It was the finance committee, I think it is, and the media would have reached out to Ashton Ford and other political analysts about their views on the situation. And Mr. Ford would have weighed into Mr. Faris Al-Rawi as former Attorney General. Also, he would have weighed in. He would have said that Faris was a non-performer. He also said that Faris should have advised the young senator because it's her first time and stuff like that. And I am just saying, if Mr. Al-Rawi was not aware that she was giving Mr. Diyal Singh advice, then I don't know what advice Mr. Ashton Ford wanted Faris to give. As one, two. But there's so much happening, boy, in Trinidad and Tobago. So much. So I'm going to try to find that story. All right, let's take this call. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Is this the Constructive talk?
Yes, it is.
I'd like to find out about how this thing came into the open, and I would want to know if the leader of the opposition cannot get a muzzle for this gentleman.
Which gentleman?
Mr. Esmond Ford.
No, not Esmond Ford. It's Mr. Ashton.
Ashton Ford.
Yeah, Ashton Ford.
Yeah, well, it's the second time I'm listening to this man in an interview, and he don't know what to say and what not to say. He should. I wouldn't say he reached Trump area yet, where he kind of senile, but I mean, you can't be for a government on a politician side and talking this kind of thing. You have to be wiser than that, especially as a man from the old days who knows what PNM went through to reach where we are and to bring people to the level that they are now, so that they could kick them. They could kick us, I should say. That is all I really have to say on this issue. There are other issues, but I don't want to say anything on that.
All right. All right, so we're taking your calls. 464-7003. 464-7003. What is your thoughts? 464-7003. Do you agree with the approach? Do you agree with what was said? Do you agree? How do you feel about it? Hello, good evening.
Hello, Pastor. Good night to you and all the callers.
Good evening,
I
sir.
don't find the the guy at all. You want you man. And of course, you are the kind of student, understand? So why should I sit down? Why? I don't find she said that supporters stand to ground and the PNM supporters supposed to support the woman. She's supposed to sit down at all because she now go there. When you come at something going on the other side and now them is stepping on side at all. Why should I sit down? Hello, this woman is a bright woman. You understand? She now go there, it's a good experience for she. You understand? I don't know why the government ministers and them always quick to say, anytime the PNM, there's anything happen in the PNM, they must step aside. And then they step outside the door, but look at people on them side. You understand? As for kind of out of time, with the kind of talk is the thing you have to take your time. You understand? He had to choose the word, no time to kind of thing and to create traction with the party.
All right, caller.
All right.
Thank you very much. So I'm trying to find the article because what that caller is saying is very true, Let's take this call. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Hi, good evening.
Yes, good evening, sir. First, I must say that Mr. Ashton Ford has outlived his usefulness. For some reason or the other, his comments of late have not been in the interest of either the PNM or the country. That is his views. And on the basis of the young senator now, I believe the young senator should not have been called to step down. Look at who we have for our Speaker of the House. Look at who is the Speaker of the House.
Go ahead, caller. You need to load on your television, though. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Okay. Hello?
Hello? Hello?
Caller, you need to hang up. Sorry.
Oh, all right. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. All right. So the caller who was talking to me just now, I don't know if you can call back because we had that issue.
Pastor Google, good night. Like they want Chinla Allen to talk tonight, so they're disrupting your program. Had to be something like that because this don't usually happen. Or then if it could be the weather then.
Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Hi, good evening, sir.
Pastor Gogo.
Yes, sir.
Question. What standing order was breached by the senator assisting Mr. DRC? Hello?
I don't know. I can't answer that question. Sorry.
Well, if it is that she did not breach anything at all, why she should step aside? And who it is leaked that information to the press? These are pertinent questions. Right? On top of that, everybody, the press, the UE lady, Sajuan, or what was her name, want her to step down, want Faris to step down, but none of them asking the Speaker of the House, Mr. Anil Roberts, David Lee, Muniwal, to step aside. None of them saying that. Why it is something as small as it is like that, when nothing maybe have been breached, they want her to step aside. Why? That's my contribution.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening. You have to load on your television and listen to me on the phone, caller. Caller. All right. So when you come off, you would hear me talking to you. All right. So again, I'm taking your calls on 464-7003, 464-7003. And if you're now joining us and you want to know what them talking about, what is Pastor Google and they talking about this evening, that people are calling in and sharing their views on, and a lot of persons are calling in and sharing their views on it. So I know that so people might be asking what it is. So I'll let you know what it is in a short bit. The discussion is about the senator and hello, good evening.
Yes, sir. I am the guy who was speaking before.
All right, you got cut off.
Yeah, I said that Mr. Ashton Ford would have outlived his usefulness. And his views should not be the reflection of what the PNM is or what the country thinks. His views must remain his views. Now, in terms of the Honorable Young Senator that they are harping on in terms of her stepping down, I find it's ludicrous in its extreme. Look at who we have for the Speaker of the House. That was the first thing I mentioned when I get cut off. Look at what we have for the Speaker of the House. A man that was exonerated not on the basis of not being guilty, but on a technicality. David Lee is before the court, charged with conspiracy to defraud the country with some vehicle where you buy for some friend or something like that. The case was thrown out and it came back up again. The three jurisprudence for which we are governed under, the Privy Council, the local court, the Court of Appeal, all of them said Monilal have a case to answer. Monilal is a minister in government. We have a former minister, he's a doctor now, came from Canada or somewhere and stated emphatically that he was aware of human trafficking in the UNC. He swore to an affidavit. That man today, who he spoke of, is a minister. None of them has stepped down. None of them is stepping down. You see, the PNM has been held to a higher order in this country for years, but we reach a stage now that order have to change. That order has to change. Too much of ridiculous people coming forward and making comments and criticizing things that they really don't have any say in, that they really don't really have knowledge about. And that's the reason for the mayhem that is taking place in the country today. We have the most egregious set of politicians today in the cabinet, in the government today, getting away with everything. Look at what happened recently in our weekend. 50-something baby bodies were discovered in a mass grave. Nobody from whose body they were, and they said some of the adult, 2 out of the 6 adult autopsy was for bodies.
I call us. I don't know. You need to check your phone. You keep going on mute. All right. So check your phone. You're muting at times. Go ahead.
All right. No accountability. Look, the police woman get killed. I hear the prime minister of this country saying there's not a police. It's not a police station.
But she apologized. She apologized tonight.
But she had no right to apologize, Pastor Google. That is being dishonest and disingenuous and deceptive and callous and despicable. She had no right. She don't make the statement. Somebody must be going her ears and tell her she shouldn't say that now. But she said certain things in the past that contribute to what she's saying now. The woman is dysfunctional. And she went in parliament and talked about this coolie woman.
Yes, she did.
You're not hearing me, right?
I hear you. Yes, she did.
Right. So this is not something that she's doing by mistake. This is thing that she's doing because she wants to do them. But somewhere along the line, somebody would have told her that comment was a bad comment. And it is a bad comment. In the precinct of a police station, a police woman get killed. You saying she's not a real police and she is not in the police station? That is beyond my imagination to see anybody. You know, if Dr. Rowley had done that, what would have been the issue today? You know, if under the PNM, 50-something baby bodies were discovered in a cemetery with no accountability, you know, today, if PNM was in power, that would have made the news for a month. We are living in hell. The anniversary, the 1-year anniversary coming up, they're going all around Sandy Grande with miking and asking people to come out and to support them. Well, I'm watching all Danny Guerra supporters. I know them all. I know all them young people from by the market, from underneath my marriage who supported the UNC. I know them all. I know the people from Forster Road, from Bavandi, from Northeastern Settlement, from the Pine. I know all of them. Danny Guerra was responsible for all of them.
All right. Thank you.
I'm looking at them today.
Thank you very much,
I
caller.
could say more.
Hello, good evening.
Hi, good day, Pastor Google. Thank God for life. The chairman of the committee is who start all this bacchanal, which is the Speaker of the House. Everything that Kamala Prasad says, I have to say somebody have to write it for her. So where are you going with this? Faris wasn't on the committee. Where are you bringing in Faris' name for? The lady wouldn't have known Faris. Nobody didn't know Faris had if he didn't say that. He liked too much of bacchanal. We leave the lady alone. The lady knew. He could have called her and gave her advice and say, well, this can't happen and all like that. Or she could have stepped down from the committee and really put somebody else. But he just like too much of bacchanal and trying to get rid of everybody from the PNM. Thank you, and you all have a blessed night.
You calling from Tobago? You sound like a Tobagonian. Oh boy. So we continue to take your calls. 464-7003. 464-7003. 464-7003. What is your thoughts? What is your thoughts? What is your thoughts? You know, a caller made me go and look, boy. It made me go and look for something. And I'm going to find it, you know. I'm going to find it. So give me a call and let me know what are your thoughts about the clip we played. And meanwhile, as my dad would have said earlier on, that he's going to be in and out, in and out, in and out. All right, he's going to be in and out. So, you can expect him back in anytime. All right. So today, all right, let's take this call. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening, Pastor Google, and to all your viewers.
Hi, good evening, sir. How are you?
Regarding the topic, I'm good, sir. How are you? Regarding the topic, I would say it's a very touchy situation, but some callers before rightly said how Al-Rawi was interviewed a couple of days ago before attending Parliament in the Senate. How he handled the interview was an expert.
Well, I played that just now. It wasn't the other day. It was yesterday.
Yes, it was yesterday. And you know how he handled the interview with the reporter.
Akash.
Was an expert way on how he's supposed to handle situations like that. As the caller said, you are right to remain silent. Right? That is in stark contrast to how a couple of days before that, in fact, the same day yesterday actually, how Senator Annie Roberts spoke to the media.
Oh, yes.
Right? Was a clear contrast to how Annie Roberts basically disgustingly insulted the media, asking pertinent questions on national importance. Watch how he addressed the media to how Al-Rawi did it. Secondly, I think the video you're looking for regarding what Dr. Rowley described why he moved Mr. Al-Rawi from the Attorney General office to local government, as you rightly pointed out, is because Al-Rawi was the drafter, the architect, he was the drafter of the bill. He tabled it, leave it in Parliament, passed it, and also the reason why Dr. Rowley said he took him out of the Attorney General office and put him in local government. Since he created the bill, he will be the major implementer. And I think the video that you're looking for, try looking around June or July 2023. That's the public meeting where I think we first had our official nominee of Dennis. I think it's Dennis, our representative to the UN. That's when he was elected. I think he had a public meeting then. Right? And Mr. Al-Rawi was there and he was describing where that was a few weeks after we actually won the case in the Piaco fiasco in the Miami court, where we won the judgment of the $137 million US. That's about 1.2 billion TT dollars when it converted. That same meeting, I think, is where Dr. Rowley explained why he moved Faris Al-Rawi from the Attorney General office to the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development. It's because he said, hey, it's because you are the main architect of this bill, so you will be the main implementer of it as the Minister of Local Government and Rural Development. I think that's the meeting that I look for. Try 2023, somewhere around June, July.
Well, if you find it, send it for me now, please.
Okay, I'll try and find out and see. Okay, then.
All right, thank you very much. Okay. Let's see if you can listen to this, Trinidad and Tobago.
Reactions from political analysts to the announcement of the reshuffle. One analyst is calling on Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley to clear the air and give reasons for his latest move, while another says the move is clearly a political strategy. Crystal Wilson has more in this report.
The Prime Minister's announcement has come mere hours before the nation gets to welcome in the new year, one in which a general election is due. In the view of political analyst Dr. Bishnu Raghunath, the move shows clearly that Dr. Rauli is fully aware his cabinet has to function effectively and efficiently.
We are heading into an election, and therefore, as any good politician would want to do, he would want to set the pace to make sure that people are in the right places to ensure that victory could be had by his party.
Dr. Raghunath added the reshuffle was no surprise to him. Addressing the removal of Camille Robinson-Regis from one ministry to another, he said the move is political and should not be viewed as a demotion.
Camille Robinson-Regis. To some extent, people may see this as a demotion. Minister of Planning is probably one of the uppermost ministries in any government, and to be removed from that and placed in social development, that could be seen as a demotion. Of course, there is also a political side to it.
But for political analyst Dr. Winford James, he believes the citizens deserve an explanation for the reshuffle. He said Prime Minister Rowley's sudden decision leaves more questions than answers. Dr. James said the most significant move is the removal of leader of government business, Camille Robinson-Regis, from the Ministry of Planning and Development, and the Prime Minister himself taking over her portfolio.
How come on the eve of the elections, or very close to the elections, Dr. Rowley, first of all, thinks that he should take over the Ministry of Planning. Question that arises is, wasn't she doing a good job? He thinks he should take it over. Not only that, he doesn't keep Camille Robinson-Regis. He replaces her with somebody else. What do we know of Coburn's ability that makes her suddenly more suitable to operate in that ministry?
The appointments will take effect from January 1st, 2020.
All right, so I didn't find it. I thought that was the video of with Forrest. I really thought that was the video. All right, I was trying to get that video of him talking about Forrest and why he would have replaced Faris Al-Rawi as Minister of Rural Development, why he moved him from Attorney General to the Minister of Rural Development. But I didn't have that video. Let's take this call. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Pastor Google.
Hi.
This is the lady who had called about the water.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, they got the water, but what was going on? Why I was calling you all, they had already got water, but I still called to say thank you because I know it's 10% or 20%.
10%.
10%. The next day might have called in.
Yes, 10% would have called in, and he said he would have done his part.
Yes, so thanks so much. You always come out for me, and God bless you. Okay?
You are most welcome.
As concerning tonight, I'm not this big talker, but in my view, they always know when PNM do something wrong to jump out, And I find Akash, his tone of voice talking to Al-Rawi. Why you don't do that for like Anil and them? Everybody like gentle Jesus, meek and mild. When they're talking to the other side, but they feel they could come out and talk to PNM however they want. And Mr. Ashton Ford, I think you should know better. Something like that, why it have a little something there and you looking to pour gasoline on it. Why do that? The other side, you don't hear them criticizing one another at all. But no, we have to do it. Oh gosh, come on now, Manuel. It's time to build instead of trying to break down. Let go of bitterness and try to pull the party together. Thank you, Pastor Google.
You're most welcome, and thank you very much for your call, and I appreciate your call.
Thank you.
All right. So, yeah, I tell you, I want to say something, but I will leave it alone. I want to say something, but I will leave it alone. But I want to thank the caller though. I want to thank the caller for her statements. Anybody else? Before we move on, we want to move on. I want to move on from this and go on to something else. Anybody else have anything else they want to share? 464-7003. 464-7003. Anybody else want to come on and say anything before we move on? You can come on now, you know. Come on now. See what you have to say. All right. 464-7003. Anybody else want to come on and say anything? Before we move, we're going to change gears, you know. Yeah, we're going to switch gears. Hello, good evening.
Hi.
Hi,
good
good
night,
evening.
Pastor Google.
Hi, good evening, ma'am.
This is the second time I'm calling as the woman called Monday, the first caller,
Yes.
concerning the thing. Now, I'm listening to it tonight. I didn't even know it was on. I just saw it. Now, my view is, you know, the PNM are too soft when we're ready. And I believe that something like that, she's not supposed to step down. I believe that if she has to step down, and they want Paris to step down, the entire government needs to step down. The chairman of NGC needs to step down. All of them are criminals, and they want her to step down? No, that's not fair. All of them supposed to step down. And you see, this Egyptian government, God is going to drown them in the Red Sea. Good night.
All right, but I don't know if the chairman of NGC is charged for any criminal have any criminal record. So I don't believe not that I don't. There is no evidence of the chairman of the NCC has any criminal record. So I want to distance or
Good evening, Pastor Guru, and to the listeners. I listen to you all the time. I'm forced to call in this evening. The deceased father of the nation and the founder of the People National Movement, I remember as a young woman hearing him say, "Do not wash your linens in public." The next thing is this. There are, for instance, Mr. Ford. He is old enough to know what he did was terribly, terribly out of place. And he would have known what the deceased father of the nation said. As well, our opposition leader, she needs to go nowhere or to tell anybody anything concerning this situation. Right?
Yeah.
Let her just smile, a beautiful smile, and not even say no comment. Just smile and walk away. And that is what I think she should do. I'm totally fed up with these Africans to see it. You stay good and stay under the gift of God's love. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, caller. You made me smile. You made me smile. Why you made me smile? Because, you know, your eloquent way of saying what you had to say in such a profound way. You made me smile. Eloquent, strong, but yet, you know, yeah, man. Caller, you know, I'm seeing where people sending hearts and people are saying, caller, I agree with you. Well said. Well said. You know, good night, Pastor Google. I must congratulate that woman. She is so correct. let's come together and stop the fighting. Oh no, let's come together. Let's come together and stop the hate. All right, people, please just stop it. PNM people, please stop it. Oh Lord, help us.
Pastor Google.
Yes, sir.
I just want to endorse and support what the last caller said. You understand? Know that time the members of the PNM, know that they were supposed to support the party and don't create no animosity and no factor and division in the party. So it's time to rally along one another, support one another, and the senator, Ms. Bates, is supposed to stay there. You understand? Can you repeat that the opposition is supposed to resistance to go and remain in the Senate and don't move here at all? Because they want the other side doing a lot of wrong things. They always know that PLM Senate supposed to move. You understand?
All right, so then let me ask. All right, so thank you. Let me ask this question on the live, and let me ask before I move on. I'll move on by 10 o'clock. But let me ask this question on the live. All right, let me ask this question on the live. I'm asking people on the live, and I'm asking people to call in, WhatsApp, and message on the live. Do you all think that the opposition leader should, well, she is investigating the matter, she's meeting with the senator, she's meeting with Faris, and she will make a decision. But do you think that the opposition leader should remove the senator from the Senate? So, I'm taking calls and I'm watching on the chat. And I'm going to count. I'm going to do a count this evening. We have 747 persons on the live. I want you all to put yes or no. Just type yes or no. Do you think or do you feel that the opposition leader should remove the senator from the Senate? So put yes or no. And if you're calling in, you're just saying yes or no. Hello, good evening. Yes or no, caller? All right, you're not ready. Yes or no, caller? Hello?
Absolutely not.
All right, thank you. Hello, good evening, caller.
Yes or no? I said absolutely not.
All right, thank you. Hello, good evening, caller. Yes or no? Hello, good evening, caller. Yes or no? All right. Call me back. Let me see what people saying on the live. People saying, wait, look at no.
Hello?
Hi, good evening.
Yes? No?
All right, thank you. Hello, good evening. Yes or no?
Well, good evening, Pastor Guru and the listeners. I'm saying no. She should not be moved at all.
All right.
She should not.
All right.
I'm saying no. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Hello, good evening. All right, no. Somebody's saying, Mr. What is this person? Yes, no. Hello, good evening. Yes or no?
No, Pastor Google. Absolutely not.
All right, thank you very much.
Good evening, Pastor Google. Pastor Google, I don't know if I fell asleep in one world and woke up in another one, but the issue, the argument of using the examples from the U.
Hello, good evening. Yes or no?
No, Pastor Google.
All right, thank you.
No, good night.
Good night. All right, let's go.
UNC government as a yardstick for PNM to use in how we treat certain things, I don't think we should use that. My thing is, if you're going to give a child a test, you can't be preparing the child, telling the child the answers before the test. And to me, that is what I perceive the issue was. So I am saying, if we want to maintain integrity in the party and integrity in life for our young people to follow, we should not be using the examples of the UNC. That is not the yardstick at all for us to be using. Have a good night, Pastor Google. Great show as usual.
All right, thank you very much. All right, so I'm looking at you all on the live. People on the live, I haven't seen a yes yet on the live. Based on what the voice noter just said, and based on the discussion that we're having, most persons are saying if Miss Bates have to go, right? If Miss Bates have to go, then UNC, there are people in the UNC. If we're using Miss Bates as a measuring stick for integrity and saying that here what she has breached and the integrity where she should not have told Mr. Terence Yal Singh anything about what happened in the committee and stuff like that. People are saying that here what, as the lady just said, she should not have done that, and based on that, she has to go. Some people are saying, but if you're using that as a measuring stick for the senator, then the House Speaker should go, then Anil should go, then the one who park up in the disabled parking should go, and I understand that, but we're looking at the senator, the situation that she has found herself in, and I'm asking you if you think that the political leader should relieve her, should take her off as a senator. So that is the question that's the question that I am asking you this evening. All right, and most people on the live are saying no. Most people on the live are saying no. All right. Taking your calls, 464-7003. 464-7003. All right. Taking your calls. See if there are any more voice notes. Only I not playing that. Only go say all I want. Me playing that. Hello, good evening.
Hello again, Pastor Google. Your Shan leader is supposed to move she at all, the senator. Let she remain riding, let she start to go and remain riding the Senate. Don't move she at all. All right.
Okay, thank you. All right. So it's 10 o'clock. It's 10 o'clock. We're going to switch gears. Let's take this call. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
I'd like to give a perspective on the subject that you're looking at. And the perspective is this, right? The person who wants to appear before the Joint Select Committee was a minister for a good while. Right? He won a by-election, then he won his seat outright and got 5 years. He was a senior cabinet minister. He knew he had to appear before the Public Accounts Affairs Committee. Right? That is one. Because from the outset of this inquiry, the speaker, because I was from the particular subject, the speaker was going on a particular way with respect to that minister and so on. Right? And the way he was grilling the persons, the public servants who appeared there and so on. So it was inevitable that the former MP and minister would have had to have appeared before the committee. The second thing is, we got advice from Faris Al-Rawi, senior counsel, former AG. Was it necessary for him to get further advice from a junior counsel when he had advice from a senior counsel on how to do a statement? And I'm saying that when you have two options when you appear before these committees. They allow you to give answers in writing. Well, three options really. You can come to them in camera, and you may not give a written something in writing, and you could appear before them and be questioned viva voce, meaning live before them and so on. Those were the three options available to that experienced former parliamentarian. And I am saying he placed Senator Bates in that position. Mr. Al-Rawi has nothing to worry about because he was not a member of that committee, though he was also a Senate colleague. And I am saying we cannot want to complain about what we are seeing by this government for the last 11 months. And the people who we see are there, who we know have questions to answer, and want to ascribe that standard to the People National Movement in opposition. Because I'm telling you, what resonated with me right now is what Michelle Obama said some years ago. When they go low, we go high. And I'm saying, two wrongs don't make a right. We can use the fluff and foolery within the UNC to justify what was done. And I'm saying this young lady has a professional career to see about. She may wish to continue further in her career and in public life as a politician. And I'm saying if she steps away and concentrate on her legal practice and so on, she may be able to come back at some point in time. But I am saying that the former minister is to blame for what happened. In addition, the mistake that was made was that the particular copy of the amended statement has been sent in a particular way and so on. And it was clear that it was sent in a way where people could see what the edits were. That is amateurish at best. And I'm saying my critical analysis mind tells me, was it really amateurish or was it deliberate? Because people are saying that, yes, the PNM in opposition, but all skin, teeth, and laugh, you know. And I'm saying, when you watch Senator Bates's contribution to the Senate since she is one of the stars for the PNM. In addition to Senator Roberts, Rajman, and so on, eye-opening, refreshing. In addition to some people on the independent benches. But as new senators who have come in to the PNM side, she's refreshing. And who knows if somebody who wants to come back as a senator and who entered politics as a senator may have done that to sabotage her. That is the angle I am taking. So I would say it would be correct for her to do the right thing if we ascribe to the principles that the movement, that the People's National Movement ascribed to, as came to them from our founding father, as someone said, morality in public affairs. And no finger must be able to be pointed at us. That is what we are to live up to. I don't want to fight UNC on them nastiness terms. I want to have people who I want to support as paragons of virtue and integrity. Because that's how I ascribe myself to be. And that's how I ascribe the young adults and individuals in my household. That's how I want them to be. We must set high standards and maintain them. If people want to go below the white line, well, that is them. But the venerable People's National Movement of 70 years has a reputation to uphold.
What are your thoughts? Just now, don't run away. What are your thoughts about Mr. Ford's statement to CNC3?
Well, I didn't hear it, so I can't. I wasn't home.
All right,
so
well, just now. Don't go anywhere. Stay right there. Stay right there, right?
Welcome back. A People's National Movement stalwart is criticizing PNM Senator Faris Al-Rawi, accusing him of failing to properly guide fellow... Welcome back. A People's National Movement stalwart is criticizing PNM Senator Faris Al-Rawi, accusing him of failing to properly guide fellow Senator Janelle John Bates.
This amid questions about her future in the upper house. John Bates was removed from the Public Administration and Appropriations Committee on April 16th. It occurred 2 days after questions emerged over the alleged editing of a witness statement by former Minister Terence Dialsing ahead of his appearance before the committee. Ashton Ford says while John Bates is new to Parliament, greater responsibility lies with senior figures.
My beef is with Faris Al-Rawi, a non-performer overall. He's a non-performer, and this is added to his list. He should have advised the young lady, having served as Attorney General and having served as a member of Parliament for years. He should have advised her against that.
While opposition leader Penelope Beckles has requested reports from both John Bates and Al-Rawi, CNC3 News understands that no decision has yet been taken on either matter. But political scientist Dr. Indira Rampasad says John Bates is not without fault, arguing the situation points to a clear conflict of interest.
It could amount to misconduct if it is challenged. If it is challenged legally, the opposition leader would be well advised to also remove her from the Senate.
Rampasad says while Al-Rawi's actions were less serious, given that he was not a member of the committee, he should still receive a stern warning.
But political analyst Dr. Winford James, while agreeing there was a conflict of interest, argues Al-Rawi should be removed, with John Bates given some leniency as a first-time parliamentarian.
Opposition leader Penelope Beckles did not respond to requests for comment.
All right, so what is your thoughts?
I can agree with Mr. Ford on the so on. I don't agree with him with the characterization of Mr. Al-Rawi and so on as a non-performer, right?
Just now, when you said that you can agree with him with him guiding the senator.
Yes, because he's a senior counsel.
Right. No, if he don't, but if he don't know that Mr. Terence Dialsing reached out to her for assistance.
Yes, but like I said, right? He already gave him advice as senior counsel. Why would you want to reach out to junior counsel? To me, that it don't make sense.
And that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying to you that is why Mr. Ford is talking based on what he feel that the both of them know that they were asked for advice. If the both of them were aware that they were asked for advice, then I could understand him telling Faris, "Yeah, what's going on now? You should have advised the young lady differently." But if Faris is not aware that the young lady was asked for advice or was helping Mr. Dialsing, then you can't beat up on Faris.
I commented something to you that you could speak to your dad about, or when you come on again, you could ask him about it. One of these seminal courses in law school, right before you get called to the bar, is professional ethics. And professional ethics says in certain matters, when you are giving instructions to clients or clients look to engage you, you ask them certain questions. And one of the questions that should have been asked to the Honorable Former Minister is this: have you sought any legal advice before coming to me on this matter? Legal ethics is a basic course that all attorneys must pass. This is important, one of the tenets.
So then, Mr. Dialsing could lie and tell him, no, I didn't.
Right, but what I'm saying, you will be cleared professionally even if you had asked the question, and then you could then say, you could then have room to room to flex by saying that the person lied to me.
Right? No. But that's not the discussion. You going way beyond the discussion. The discussion is how Mr. Ashton Ford making a statement.
I know. I was just responding to the question that you asked me.
The question I ask you is, this is the question, or the statement I made was that Mr. Ashton Ford is making a statement to the media as if he is aware that Faris is aware that Terence Yalsing asked Rajdan Ford for advice. He's not aware of that.
Right? What I'm saying, that is what you are saying, but I am looking at the position that Mr. Ford would have held in his time, and so on, and is a senior member of the party.
Nah. Sorry, I disagree with you. Mr. Ford is talking. He is saying that he thinks that Faris should have given the young lady advice to not to be a part or not to give. But Faris could have only, my statement is, Faris could have only given her advice if he is aware. And we don't know if Faris was aware that she was giving Terence advice.
And I'm saying it is speculative at best because we don't know.
And that's why Mr. Ford shouldn't say it.
The only people who could clear up that is the honorable senators.
And that is why I am saying that Mr. Ford should not put that in the public domain in the first place. Because he don't know.
And I want to leave on this note as well, right? You very well know that Senator Al-Rawi, the leader of government in the Senate, will bring a motion of privilege against Senator Bates. And you know that the president of the Senate, who he is, you know how he will rule on a matter of privilege. Unfortunate. But like I said, that is my opinion. Based on the discussion you were having. That is how I see it.
Yeah, man.
Thanks for the opportunity as usual. And you see, people don't understand us. We could discuss and debate and still be respectful. And it's something we had to learn in this space. Thanks for the opportunity again, Pastor.
You're most welcome, man. All right. So you continue to take your calls, 464-7003. I want to move on from this so bad. I want to move on. But, calls coming in. All right. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Pastor Google.
Good evening, sir.
Pastor Google, you know who is to blame in all of this?
Who are you?
Former Minister Dialsing. I'll tell you why I see that. He is the only one that can tell us why it is he sought assistance from
the senator?
The two senators. Because if it says he had written something, right, and he had to go to Senator Al-Rawi, whoever he went to first, he had to go to one of them first and one second. And whoever he went to second, he should have said, listen, I get some advice from Senator Al-Rawi, or I get some advice from Senator John Bates, but I want you to take a second look at it, or another look at it. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
That is what should have happened, and the only person to let us know how this really and truly went who gave advice first is former Minister Dial Singh. Right? You are correct that Ashton Ford is not aware of what transpired. But the point is also this. If it is that Senator Al-Rawi would have been privy to the fact that Senator John Bates had already given advice, for a person who has recused himself on so many occasions, he should have been the first person to come out and say, hold on, there is a conflict of interest here because of his experience as well, and that this person has to pronounce on you because she is a member of that particular committee, that Joint Select Committee, and therefore she has no right to be putting herself in position to advise you and then coming to sit to pronounce on you. That is the advice. That is if it happens that way, but we don't know. And that is why I am saying that former Minister Dial Singh would have been in a position to say, because I doubt both of them went together to give input. They would have went, perhaps, he may have gone to one and then gone to the other, or whatever the case might be. And also, former Minister Dial Singh also has enough experience to say, listen, aren't you on that Joint Select Committee? Well, I cannot take input from you. It would be a conflict of interest. And the opposition leader, in her wisdom, had every right, as I told you last night, to remove Senator John Bates because it was the right thing to do at that time. But to remove her from the Senate on a point of privilege, she has done absolutely nothing wrong in the Senate. She may have done something wrong in at the committee stage, yes. That is not a problem for me. But in the Senate, for the leader of government business in the Senate, Senator Al-Rawi, to want to have to create double jeopardy, as far as I am concerned, to have her totally removed from the Senate. If I was the opposition leader, I would tell them no, because she should not be removed from the Senate because she did nothing wrong on a point of privilege in the Senate. It was at the committee stage, and she could only learn from that. You understand? And Senator Al-Rawi, just to repeat myself, who has recused himself on many occasions while they were in government with sensitive matters pertaining to his family, business, and so on, would have known, if he had known that she had made an input to tell her or to advise her or to advise former Minister Dial Singh that was not right. But to remove her from the Senate, I say no, because I will tell you why. What is privilege? What is parliamentary privilege? A good example is David Lee. I know we're not discussing David Lee. But if David Lee could use his parliamentary privilege, whereas he can purchase a vehicle and because of privilege pay no taxes, but he has to own the vehicle, which he did not, allegedly, because the case is still before the courts, allegedly, that is abuse of parliamentary privilege. But she has done nothing to abuse the Senate. And therefore, I am saying, if she is removed, that would be double jeopardy, because they also want to do something in the lower house as well, which would be triple jeopardy. And why are you condemning John Bates 3 times when she's already been condemned for what she did at the committee stage? Right? It just goes to show that the government side don't give a damn, excuse my language, once they get any PNMI in the wrong, they want to go to the ultimate. And that is how we have to be with them. Because they have a lot of people who have questions to answer. And who have, and in one instance, had already answered a question and convicted. And coming to talk to you and I and make laws for you and I. I am saying no. The opposition leader should leave us there because she has done absolutely nothing wrong in the Senate. Removing her from the committee, yes, it is conflict of interest. But at the end of the day, we don't know how it went down. We can only speculate. And I agree with you that perhaps Ashton Ford should have perhaps gotten more information before commenting. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Whew. Real debate, boy. Real discussion. That's why I love the name of the program, you know, Constructive Talk. I love the name of the program because it says exactly what we do. We have constructive conversation. Interesting, eh? Real interesting. So, I want to move on. On Saturday, the UNC is going to be celebrating the year in governance. On Saturday. I told you that the CNC3 has been doing a year in review of the UNC governance. Take a listen to this.
Nearly 1 year after the United National Congress swept to power on a promise of 50,000 new jobs, questions are now being raised about the reality facing thousands of workers.
While official data shows fluctuations in unemployment, some citizens say the change in government has brought uncertainty instead of opportunity. Doris Polo has more.
It was a night of celebration, yellow flags waving and promises of a new economic dawn.
This victory is to create over 50,000 jobs. And so, the victory is yours.
For supporters, it was a message of hope. But nearly 1 year later, that hope feels distant for some. In Toko Sangre Grande, Josanne, not her real name, marks the anniversary differently.
It's really hard not knowing where the next meal coming from.
A single mother of 3, she lost her job shortly after the election. For 6 years, Josanne worked with CPEP, moving from laborer to foreman.
I built a house, a 2-bedroom house. I furnished it, everything, working CPEP, sending my daughter to school, doing her degree, and now that, you know, this opportunity is taken away from me, it's even harder.
That stability ended when the program was wound up, affecting an estimated 10,500 workers. She said the decision came suddenly.
It was just a selfish decision because, you know, you didn't give people time to process this. Or, you know, you even come on here, you know, you let the contractors know, let your workers know that, you know, next fortnight they will be no longer employed.
The impact has gone beyond wages.
It had real chaos because it had people, it had susus running on the different teams and things, and then people were unable to pay.
Official data shows unemployment stood at 5.5% in late 2024, before dipping to 3.8% in the months after the election. But by mid-2025, that figure rose again to 4.8%, representing more than 28,000 people without jobs. Critics say the numbers do not fully capture job losses across state programs, including CPEP, URP, and reforestation. PNM Deputy Political Leader Sanjeev Budu argues the real impact is wider.
When you send home 50,000 people from the public sector, you are removing their ability to take care of their families, to have any disposable income. It means that you have less money in circulation in the retail sector in particular. So grocery stores, hardware, businesses in the food service industry. These are the people that no longer have income running through their business.
The government has pointed to initiatives like its national recruitment drive, which drew more than 100,000 applicants. Guardian Media was asked to stop covering the second phase of that process.
I am imploring you all, please don't give any media coverage until our minister is prepared to make a public statement on it.
Still, questions remain about how many jobs have been created.
Well, the government didn't say that it was going to generate 50,000 jobs in year one, did it? The economy is still in a period of what I call cautious recovery.
CNC3 News contacted Labour Minister Leroy Batiste for comment, but he was unable to provide a response before news time. Meanwhile, Rural Development Minister Khadija Amin said a response would be provided at the UNC's anniversary celebrations in Couva on Saturday. For Josanne, the wait continues. Nearly 1 year after a promise that everybody wins, she is still searching for stability. Doris Polo, CNC3 News.
Nearly 1 year after the United National Congress swept to power on a promise of 50,000 new jobs, questions are now being raised about the reality facing thousands of workers.
While official data shows fluctuations in unemployment, some citizens say the change in government has brought uncertainty instead of opportunity. Doris Polo has more.
It was a night of celebration, yellow flags waving and promises of a new economic dawn.
This victory is to create over 50,000 jobs. And so, the victory is yours.
For supporters, it was a message of hope. But nearly 1 year later, that hope feels distant for some. In Toko Sangre Grande, Josanne, not her real name, marks the anniversary differently.
It really hard not knowing where the next meal coming from.
A single mother of 3, she lost her job shortly after the election. For 6 years, Josanne worked with CPEP, moving from laborer to foreman.
I built a house, a 2-bedroom house. I furnished it, everything, working CPEP, sending my daughter to school, doing her degree, and now that, this opportunity is taken away from me, it's even harder.
That stability ended when the program was wound up, affecting an estimated 10,500 workers. She said the decision came suddenly.
It was just a selfish decision because, you didn't give people time to process this. Or, you even come on here, you let the contractors know, let your workers know that, next fortnight they will be no longer employed.
The impact has gone beyond wages.
It had real chaos because it had susus running on the different teams and things, and then people were unable to pay.
Official data shows unemployment stood at 5.5% in late 2024, before dipping to 3.8% in the months after the election. But by mid-2025, that figure rose again to 4.8%, representing more than 28,000 people without jobs. Critics say the numbers do not fully capture job losses across state programs, including CPEP, URP, and reforestation. PNM Deputy Political Leader Sanjeev Budu argues the real impact is wider.
When you send home 50,000 people from the public sector, you are removing their ability to take care of their families, to have any disposable income. It means that you have less money in circulation in the retail sector in particular. So grocery stores, hardwares, food, businesses in the food service industry. These are the people that no longer have income running through their business.
The government has pointed to initiatives like its national recruitment drive, which drew more than 100,000 applicants. Guardian Media was asked to stop covering the second phase of that process.
I am imploring you all, please don't give any media coverage until our minister is prepared to make a public statement on it.
Still, questions remain about how many jobs have been created.
Well, the government didn't say that it was going to generate 50,000 jobs in year one, did it? The economy is still in a period of what I call cautious recovery.
CNC3 News contacted Labour Minister Leroy Batiste for comment, but he was unable to provide a response before news time. Meanwhile, Rural Development Minister Khadija Amin said a response would be provided at the UNC's anniversary celebrations in Couva on Saturday. For Josanne, the wait continues. Nearly 1 year after a promise that everybody wins, she is still searching for stability. Doris Polo, CNC3 News.
You are listening to Constructive Talk with me, Pastor Google, on the CTN show network.
With a youth perspective on current affairs and issues in Trinidad and Tobago. Critical Thinkers, Youth Perspective on Constructive Talk.
All right. Okay, so I want to hear your views on this. I want to hear your views on it. I want to hear what's your take on this. All right. So I've been trying to create a conversation with you guys for a while about this, I know. Yeah, I've been trying to create a conversation with you guys for this week on what are your thoughts. This is a year in review, a year of promises, a year since the UNC has been in office, and I've been trying to get your views on it. What is your take on what is being said? How the CNC3 has been trying their best to do this year in review and stuff like that. What is your 10%?
Good day, good night, Pastor. Good night.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm okay, and you? Hello?
You want to share? You want to share your views on this matter?
Yes. I will share my views, and I do see what you. Well, we know that is the more or less. Nowadays, that is the kind of a complementarity. You're trying a big party to more or less. I don't know.
Yo, what is your view about the video? What is your view about the video?
The video is true. There's a lot of people who happen to be in that same shoes as the young lady on the video. Or even worse, these people were sent home and they were not given any kind of no word on reinstatement or compensation, nothing. You just wake up one morning and to find out your whole world crumbling because your income source gone, and the so-called government who are voting just about 2 weeks, they tell you just now they investigating. Look how long. People who in that same girl, thank God she a house. I know people facing eviction who will get eviction. Who will get evicted? Just found that happened to them. And it's sad. It's really sad. So if they want to ignore that and celebrate, they can ignore it and celebrate. But at the end of the day, this is reality, and thousands of people in this country right now are not that reality because of them. So they could try and pretend to ignore it and pretend it doesn't happen and celebrate, but it's still happening. And people like Sajan and them people and them, they're full. Because usually the government they say they have to say in 1 year, they say that only on Sajan and Ali, so the contract crap now. And I don't expect Leah Batista to say anything because he's the next fraud. Anyhow, let me some space for you. I go on.
Thanks, sir. Thanks, sir. 1%, 10%. I'm going to call him 1%. 10%. Thanks, sir. All right, the numbers to call 464-7003. 464-7003. That is the number to call. What is your view on what you have just heard? Young lady used to work CPAP. She working CPAP again. She don't know where her next meal coming from. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good night again, Pastor Google. This government ain't supposed to be celebrating nothing because since they come in office, there's only pressure. The pressure for people. It's everybody with after taxes. It's everybody suffering under this government. So I don't know where they're going to celebrate. They do nothing of work to uplift people.
Okay.
Everywhere you go, people crying out, people bawling, high price of this, high price of food, high price of gas, nothing at all of work or of substance or nothing to say well to uplift the people, nothing. Then they come in offer the place like it's like a dark shadow over the country. Everybody bawling, everybody, we have the whole place in this array. That's a very destructive government. I mean, you have to say, I really want to say that, but the average man in the street, the average person trying to be right now, could never say in a genuine statement and say the government doing anything to really just the people's faith. Every sector, the economy, every sector, they mash up. And then they have a sort of unqualified people in the polling position. They are the first, the whole country upside down. They really think, I don't know, but the part of them call election will be better for everybody in Trinidad and Tobago. I don't.
All right, thank you very much. All right, let's go. You're taking your calls 3230. All right, let's say you need to learn to hang up your phone, 3230 323 700 323. You all know the number to call. I just got a message here. Okay. All right. Well, you call in, man, 464-7003. 464-7003. What's the time now? It's 10:39. Taking your calls. 323-0773. All right. What is your take on the video that I just played? Hello, good evening.
Good evening, sir, again.
Yes, sir.
You know, I hope that the citizens and the CNC3 is also going to highlight all of the accomplishments of the government in terms of hampering the economy. One, the repeal of the Revenue Authority Act, the passing of a bill to restrict Stuart Young from getting a Prime Minister's pension, the passing of the finance bill to ensure that they received all their back pay and new salaries. I hope they will also highlight that they have now the largest cabinet ever in the history of the country from since independence, in terms of ministers and ministries and parliamentary secretaries. I hope they also talk about how they increase most fines by 100%, and how very soon coming to a landlord near you is the landlord surcharge. rental surcharge, which, unlike the property tax that they did away with, has to be paid every quarter. Yes, every quarter going forward. And people wanted to kill Mr. Imbert and Dr. Rowley for that, for trying to bring property tax. I hope they will list as their achievements the fact that they had OFAC licenses, but nothing was achieved with those OFAC licenses. In fact, we are now hoping that the multinationals will give us a fair cut when they go and negotiate with the Venezuelan government. I hope they list among their achievements our isolationist and confrontational position in CARICOM, where we were a foundation signatory to the Treaty of Sagramas in 1973. I hope they list all that as achievements. Where we in open, you could say, verbal warfare with our closest neighbors. I hope they will list in their achievements the fact that we are now walking lock, stock, and barrel with the worst president of the United States in history. I hope they list that as their achievements. And if people don't have buyer's remorse, or they're not feeling like Mr. Sachs say that they are total victims of FAFO, well, God help us, Brother Google. God help us. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We're looking at a CNC3 report. I played it twice on how people are feeling who have lost their jobs under the United National Congress government. And you're taking your calls. Any CPAP worker want to call in, you are free to do so. Any URP workers want to call in, you're free to do so. Anybody who lost their job under this regime and they want to call in and say, hey, I lost my job, you know. Touch base. Hello, good evening.
Good evening again, Pastor Google.
Yes, sir.
Pastor Google, Professor just reminded us of some of the things that transpired over the last year. But may I add to some of what he has already said? Because you see, Pastor Google, we're still waiting
information provided by the speakers and or presenter on Facebook and YouTube is for general informational purposes only. All information is provided in good faith. However, Constructive Talk makes no representation or warranty of any kind, express or implied, regarding the accuracy, adequacy, validity, reliability, availability, or completeness of this information.
I don't know if they're going to knock on the palace door and say, well, we come for we portion of the oil and gas. I hope that they can tell the people on Saturday. You hearing me, Pastor? Yeah. I hope they could tell the people on Saturday, while almost 95% of the plants in Point Lisas shut down, and we're not making any money. From Yara to Proman to Nutrien to Metanex. Yeah? I hope they could tell the people the successes of Point Lisas. I hope they could tell the people, Pastor, I hope they could tell the people at Petrotrin Refinery, they didn't press the button to start it yet, which was one of their promises as soon as they got into office, that we will restart the refinery. And why it is the refinery hasn't restarted as yet to help the poor people of the south of the Caroni Bridge that they're so concerned about. And Dr. Rowley and they were wrong to shut down the refinery. I hope they could tell the people of the East-West corridor why it is all your garbage not getting picked up. I hope they could tell the people of the East-West corridor why all of a sudden you all are being rat and roach infested. Yes? Tell them why. I hope they could tell the people why murders are now rampant more than ever in the history of this country. That every morning you get up, there's a murder of more than 2 or 3. We gone past 1 and 2. I hope they could tell us why the Honorable Prime Minister could attempt to distance herself and her government from the murder of WPC Eversley, and explain to us why the head of the municipal police of Trinidad and Tobago, Sagram Singh, was relieved of his duty and sent on administrative leave. Tell us why. And explain to us and let us and remind us that there are still, out of all of the guns that were already outside before this weekend, and all of the murders, why it is we still have an additional, Pastor, 60 firearms and over additional 3,000 rounds of ammunition still outside there. And they're telling us, go about your business as normal. That is what we're going to celebrate on Saturday, Pastor. Explain to us why 50 babies and Dr. Lakram Bodo has not been called to account. Explain that to us. And tell us if it is true that some nurses are being abused. I do not know, I am asking. Is it true that some nurses are being abused by a particular chairman of a regional health authority? Tell us. And tell us why it is they take away $15 from a certain set of nurses of a particular regional health authority. $15 to say they're bringing them back online or in line. $15 you take away because you thought $15 was too much for them. They had to be brought back online whilst they're still working on 2013 salaries. And just to add what Professor said, explain to us how you, in the first month of getting into office, you and your government could take your back pay in cash, and everybody else had to take it in either bonds or to pay off for their mortgages and so on and so on, and it could be spread over the next 4 years. Over the next 4 years. And finally, tell us, Pastor, whether you're concerned about all those over 60,000 people who were living paycheck to paycheck to feed their families. And now many of their children are no longer in school because the parents can't even afford to send them to school. And they don't know where the next meal, while they could be fretting on Saturday and eating and drinking of the best. Tell us how you're going to help those people. Or are you waiting for Manatee to come online in 2027, 2028 to tell everybody, oh God, forget now, that was in the past. Don't worry about that. We go fix all your going forward because the election is due in 2030. And they go get them temporary work until the next election comes to make them feel like, oh God, but only forget that now. Because you know, some of us, our mentality, we like to forget recent past because we now get our work. So all this suffering we're going through all now, we go forget about it. Tell us if that is the plan. Tell us, Pastor Google.
I have
tell us why.
I have a funny feeling that is the plan.
But of course that is the plan.
I have a funny
of course
feeling.
That is the plan. Pastor, they're waiting on humanity.
Listen to me. You see, we playing games and we laughing and we pretending as though we understand this thing. That is the plan. If you only don't know what's the plan is they're waiting for that windfall of money to come in.
That's right.
And they're going to call in the unions and them. Okay, come in quickly. Let's do a settlement. And we're going to give it another 10% increase. And we're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to do the next. Yeah, right. Inflation going up, groceries going up. That's not a problem.
That's right.
Only get more money.
And remember, by 2030, the only people that would have negotiated anything between 2020 and 2025 is who? Tutor, the 5% for 2020 to 2022. Nobody else, no other union. They will do exactly what they did in 2015. They will give them another 10% and say, well, if you vote us back in 2030, we will make sure they get a big cashback pay. And that is the plan, Pastor Google. They will negotiate absolutely nothing going forward. But in 2030, hey, kumbaya, all of we good, don't worry yourself, we have money now. Right? Gas flowing, don't worry, plants starting back. All is good. Manatee is on stream. We told you all we didn't need Venezuela gas. We got to go. 2.7 trillion scoops of gas from Manatee flowing through Trinidad. We had no problem. And finally tell us that the profit made that you were so proud to tell us about in the parliament, along with your chairman of NGC, if those figures were audited or not, before you mention the profits, the over 3 billion profit, and they say was the biggest in history. Were those audited figures, or are people lying? Or people telling untruth? Tell us, have those figures been audited figures or not? Because we know when you audit those figures, it may not be what you tell us it was. It may be a negative. Thank you very much.
You are listening to Constructive Talk with me, Pastor Google, on CTN Network. You are listening to Constructive Talk with me, Pastor Google, on CTN Network.
Continue to take your calls. 464-7003, 464-7003, 464-7003, 464-7003. That is the number to call. Let me know your views. Let me hear your views now. Let me know what you're thinking now. Let me hear what your thoughts now. Do you all disagree that if this government get a windfall of money, if this government Manatee start to flow gas like water in 2027, Manatee start to flow gas like water, and money start to flow in this country again, all you feel people will forget and vote back UNC. Hello, good evening.
Pastor Google.
Jesus Christ of Nazareth.
What's going on? Look at boy.
Father God, help me.
Let me say good night to my sister in Brooklyn. I know she don't miss your program, you know. Pastor Google.
Yes, sir.
I need your help.
You need my help? These are UNC, your government in office.
Pastor Google.
Wait. Your government, leave it there. Your government is in office. You need my help?
Pastor Google, right now, you know what program I is calling?
You're calling all them program on Talk City.
91.1 with your partner Kingsley and Mr. Sudat. When I am home, and I'll be calling 106.5 in the morning with a guy named Davey. Pastor Google, I just go in the Lions Den, you know. I just go in the Lions Den and deal with them, you know.
But why are you dealing with your... I don't understand. What have they done to upset you, Mr. Leavier? You supported this government in opposition. What have they done to upset you? Tell me. Because I remember you used to call... I remember you used to call Wall Street. I remember you used to call Heavy and TC. I remember you used to call Daily Voice. I remember all the anti-PNM shows you used to call. How all of a sudden now you're calling them and bashing them? Why?
Because I am a PNM. Hey! Come back home. So I come back home.
Hey!
You know my issue was with Dr. Rowley, Pastor Google.
Wait, just now.
Know that.
Wait, just now. You are what?
I am a PNM. I was always a PNM.
I want to see what the people on the live see it. I want to see what the people on the live laughing and they're cracking up, you know.
Well, let them laugh. I'm in business with that. You know my issue was with Dr. Rowley and Stuart Young. And you know that too, Pastor Google. Kenny said to come back home. So I come back home.
Who said come back home? Who said come back home?
I don't feel I hear people about talking penny, but I ain't ready for them yet.
Who said come back home?
I hear people about talking penny.
Mr. Google.
So you're telling me you hear people about talking penny?
I want you to answer me. What is your problem? You say you want me to help you. Somebody say your issue.
All right.
What is your issue?
I want to find out. Right now, CPEP, URP, their main office is in the north or in the south?
CPEP main office is still in the south. It's in Madeleine.
In south?
Yes.
The both of them or one of them?
I know that no. URP is in Port of Spain. CPEP is in St. Madeleine.
URP is in Port of Spain. And CPEP is in South.
Yeah, CPEPs as what she named us say. CPEPs.
All right. CPEP, all right. All right. That's what I want to find out. Because I deal with them, Pastor Google. I want PNN people to come on 91.1 with us through that program. I want them to call 106.5 in the morning with a guy named Davey. When I am home, that is where I'll be calling 106.5, Pastor Google. But I'm not home right now, so I'm not calling 106.5. But I'm calling your father Kingsley on 91.1 with Mr. Sudat.
My partner?
Yeah, your partner. So you know your partner Kingsley on 91.1?
Yeah, but I don't listen to that station, mister. And why you getting them all them ads on my station?
Well, that's why I'm dealing with them. I want PNN people to come and deal with them. They do go in the Lions Den.
Nah.
And deal with them.
Nah, leave them there, man.
I ain't telling them don't call your program,
So why you don't call your boy Heavy?
Huh? heavy the city all that heavy and ready for me, man. I do, Mr. Sudak.
All right. Well, deal with them, Mr. Leave it there. Deal with them. We go talk. Leave it there.
Right. I like your friend now.
Leave it there.
So when I need help, I can call you.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, Mr. Leave it there. Boy, look who called my program, Mr. Leave it there. Oh yeah, I reaching places. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Pastor Google. Pastor Google, I had a question after every people concerned about if people celebrating their so-called achievement, right? Something disturbed about this thing, and I don't know if you're really getting papers with the Concealing Crime Struggle offering a reward for the information concerning the death of the police lady. And when I saw the reward, I find that this to be a total insult. Pastor Google, you tell me, you find $100,000 reward is enough for persons to come out and give information? I just want to say, in your opinion, $100,000, TT.
Should be $1 million.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. You know what I see that as? That is a slap in the face, an insult to the people of Trinidad and Tobago and the family of all. This thing we're dealing with bullets and weapons missing, which is a national security threat. You tell me what person could do with $100,000 $50. And I bet you that the people who celebrate on Saturday, they will spend more money than that so-called reward money.
You going?
What I will do, if I was a person who into it, what I going to do with $100,000 TT? I can't even build a house. I can't even build a house with that. I can't even build a house with that, Pastor Google.
You're going to the celebration?
With what? With what? The authority should be presenting money for that. And I thought they hold suspects already. Why is it not people said that come forward to provide information for $100,000? Why people not talking about this thing? Where are the relatives of the family? This is why so people should come out and boycott this thing.
Mr. Wendell Eversley is talking out.
Boy, you know, I don't know now. But I find that it's a real insult, Pastor. Why people not talking about this thing? This reward money is not. This reward money is an insulting thing. A woman lost her life. Is that how you see it? That how you see her value? So, or you put out a reward for $100,000. So the police are doing an investigation. I thought they were suspects already. Why didn't people say that to come out now and give information for $100,000? Pastor, go ahead. I too best right now, you know.
All right, sir.
Nah, man. That's an insult, man. That's insulting.
Thank you very much. You are listening to Constructive Talk with me, Pastor Google, on CTN Network. Right, so continue to take your calls. 464. No, man, it's after 11. Papa ain't call back. What are you going to do? Well, it was a pleasure being on with you this evening on Constructive Talk. Thank you for your participation in the program. I pray that you would have a blessed rest of the night. And remember, stay focused, stay strong, and continue to share the live and tell somebody to log on and subscribe to Constructive Talk. Thank you very much for being with me this evening. Talk to you guys. You serious? I know closing off. This has to be real good, eh? You have to be calling to contribute to the program, eh? Because I know closing off the program. Hello?
Hi, good night, sir. To answer your question concerning when the humanity gas started to flow, right? I foresee that when the humanity gas started to flow, I still foresee that we will be in an IMF program, because I don't know if you pay attention to on Facebook today. I saw Rhoda Barrett leaking a document, a cabinet note from last year, stating that the 1st of next month, some increased fines and taxes coming. Right? And that's on the back of, I saw a news clipping today where the IMF warning that the government needs to cut spending. It put in too much pressure on reserves. And I told myself, an IMF program is coming. And even so, if we getting revenues from the Manatee gas that's flowing 2027, 2028, the government will still be an IMF program. And what they will do is literally, while we in an IMF program, regardless if the Manatee gas is flowing, they will take that Manatee gas money and give public servants an increase in pay just to offset the hardships they might get being in an IMF program. I foresee that coming because what I saw in that document didn't specify exactly what it is in what areas, but they specify all ministries will be implementing some form of raise in fines and taxes to collect revenue.
Okay.
So the media review will be a very, very interesting piece of budget program to watch in the Parliament.
Thank you
I want
very
you
much.
to take note of that, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Pastor Google.
Good evening.
Pastor Google, educate the younger people about police in Trinidad and Tobago. The first set of police that they was brought on the line, they used to call them rural constable. And that was the dictator, the NCO, who used to be either a corporal or a sergeant in the station, would come in the village and pick out two strong fellas. Let them buy khaki pants and khaki clothes and come and left, right and give them a battle and them did real bad. After that was SRP. And after SRP came the municipal police. And that is a fact. So to hear a prime minister want to discriminate against police and all that, them is not regular police. Them is nothing. It's the same thing she do with the CPAP workers. Them only cut in grass. Them is nobody. Them is nobody. But I hear like you saying that she apologized. Well, that shocked me. I never hear the apology.
Yeah, she apologized this evening on the news.
She did?
Yeah, this evening on the news.
She made a lot of mistakes when Queen Elizabeth passed and the world was sending condolences on behalf of the Queen. All Duke and Duchess and Baron and Baroness and Kings and Queens and present and past Prime Minister. You know what she did to Trinidad? She's the only person sent condolences to Queen Elizabeth #2. She didn't even know Roman figures. That I was shocked when they go in and coronate King Charles. I say, oh God, now we dead. She go in and say King Charles 111, but she get it right. So this woman, we doing this kind of thing, just saying things off your hands or mouth, just so. Well, I'm glad to hear you say that she apologized. But tell anybody, the full set of people they had as police, they were named rural constable. And that was in the 50s. Thank you for
Thank you very much for calling.
Right.
Thank you for calling and giving us the history. Thank you very much for calling and giving us that history. All right. So I was closing the program. And I was saying thank you all very much for being a part of the program this evening. I pray that you guys enjoy the rest of the week. Tomorrow is Thursday. I'm supposed to have 2 guests on tomorrow. I'm trying to get on to Shamfa. So let's see how it go. All right. So to my Tobago listeners, I'm supposed to have Shamfa Kojo on tomorrow, please God. So talk to you guys. Have a good evening. Have a good night. Good night, everybody. You are listening to Constructive Talk with me, Pastor Google, on CTN Network.
The information provided by the speakers and or presenter on Facebook and YouTube is for general informational purposes only. All information is provided in good faith. However, Constructive Talk makes no representation or warranty of any kind, express or implied, regarding the accuracy, adequacy, validity, reliability, availability, or completeness of this information.
Final Hour Christian Ministries invites you to their annual Visitors Day service. End of days. Where are we in 2026? On Saturday, April 25th, 2026 at 11 a.m. Mandela Hall Center of Excellence with Pastor Mackenzie and the Final Hour family. See you there. Coming soon to Constructive Talk Network, Critical Thinkers. It's a youth show with a youth perspective on current affairs and issues in Trinidad and Tobago. Critical Thinkers, youth perspective on Constructive Talk.